I'll sit in the center so I can center on the road and then drive really slow anyway. That's what you look like when you drive.
Maybe it's my mild scoliosis.
Welcome back, boys and girls and everything in between. You know, if you identify as an attack helicopter, we won't judge, but I will use you in times of war. Now, this is episode 85. I'm Mindless Prattle. That's Ripley, and she's Jordan. And we're going... What?
Okay.
What's wrong with you today?
What's not wrong with me today?
Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Anyway. It's a beautiful morning. Sometimes it's called Saturday. Other times it's called Monday. It depends on what day you're actually listening.
Happy Saturday or Monday.
Those are the only 2 days. If it's Tuesday where you live, you're wrong. I come back on Monday. I don't know why you even got up today. You know, like Tuesdays, nobody needs a Tuesday. You ever get hit in the face with a shovel on a Monday? I saw a GIF earlier that somebody got hit in the face with a shovel, but the shovel said Monday.
I was born on a Monday. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, except instead of like you getting hit in the face with Monday, it was just like life. And you're like, whoa.
Like, I'm here now. Okay. Hello.
I saw a picture of a library this morning and I want it.
What kind of library?
It had books.
Is it a bookshelf or is it a library?
No, it's a library. It's not like this fake thing that we got.
We have lots of things.
We have books, but not most books. Like, we have more video games than books.
That's because when I lived with my parents, their water heater broke and destroyed a box of my books.
It did not destroy a box of like 1,000 books.
It was like a good 50 or so.
50, right. I'm trying to find the picture. Oh, there it is. Look, bookshelf.
Okay, I want that. Are you going to build me one day?
Are you going to save up money for one day?
No, we can build it.
Who's this we?
Like, we get a house, and then we can get the wood and stuff and build a shelf.
Ah, yes. One wooden shelf, please.
Why? What's on your list?
Of wooden shelves?
Do you have a list of wooden shelves?
No. Do you?
No, I have a list of things to talk about.
Well, that's not the same, okay? It does not affect the proclivities of bookshelf.
The proclivities?
Of bookshelf.
What word was that?
What word was what?
What word were you trying to say?
What word do you think it was?
Proclivities?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so.
That was a long, awkward silence for you to read something that you wrote.
I didn't know if you were going to say something.
What? I've been saying all the things. Look, I didn't turn you when you hit it. So regardless of me turning you, you're still going to hit things.
Listen, audience, I'm being abused.
Ow. Listen, audience, I'm being abused. Like, what the fuck kind of argument is that?
By this thing called life. Okay, so I was thinking about, I keep seeing this chick on TikTok who's like, let me test your morals. And then she asked me some really fucked up shit where I'm like, why is this showing up on my page?
You know why it's showing up.
But so it got me thinking about like, would you rather things? So I found like 3 would you rather questions I wanted to ask you. So the first one is, would you take a $70K week job offer where you get paid to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 20 hours a day?
Was it 70 a week?
$70,000 a week to sit in a pitch black room every single day and do nothing for 20 hours.
If I do something, do I not get paid that day? Or like if I breathe a little too hard, they're like, you did something.
Like, you just have to sit in there and exist.
Oh, but I can like talk to myself and stuff. I don't gotta be quiet.
I'm sure you would be talking to yourself after 20 hours in the dark.
That's fine.
That sounds like a sensory deprivation.
But that's
torture.
what I'm saying. I just have to be in there because shit, I can sleep for like 12 of those hours.
So I think for me, it depends on if I can put a time limit on it. Can I do this for like 2 months and then quit?
I don't know. Is it the right to work state? Or
like, how long do I have to stay in the job to get the money per week?
Are you getting paid yearly? What do you mean? Isn't most jobs like bi-weekly or a monthly payment? Like,
so it's like, I think I would do it for like 2 months, but 20 hours in the dark every day, I don't want that.
What do you do with the other 4 hours? Like, obviously, during the 20 hours, I'm going to be sleeping.
The other 4 hours are for eating and showering and things.
I can't eat in there?
You can't do anything. You just sit in the dark for 20 hours.
Well, you would die from lack of sleep.
You can sleep, I'm sure.
Oh, well, then I'll
it's
just
probably
sleep
like the
in there.
only
Fuck
thing
it.
you can do.
Yeah, I'll just sleep. Who cares? Sure.
Okay.
I saw
And
one that was like, would you want to take a job that was 500,000 a year, but you have to maintain eye contact with a wall to watch the paint dry, and if you look away for more than 5 seconds, it starts docking your pay.
yeah, I mean, even if you look away like once or twice, it's like you're still making money. Like, how much are they gonna dock me? You know.
It said for every second that you look away after that 5 seconds, it'll take away 10 cents. I think
And how much is the total?
it's 500 a year, but that means that like if you took an hour off, then you'd get $400 less. Like, it's like 360, I think.
Worth it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, that's easy. I'm like, you even, and it said you could do it like up to 8. You had to do 8 hours a day, or 9 hours with like an hour lunch break or some shit. I was like, bro, just do 8 straight hours. And then even if you're like, oh no, I didn't make 400 today, like you're making what 360 times the
He did the
what
math.
52 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Times 5 means you're still making 406,000 a year, even if you take an hour break every day and don't look at the wall.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I'm like, that's easy. I'll do it.
Or it's like the ones where people are like, "Would you take $1 million to live in a house by yourself for a year and have no contact with the outside world?" And I'm like, "That sounds fucking great to me." Like,
Yeah, and they're like, wow, to live how I currently live. Or what was the one that someone posted like, would you take 10 million to never listen to a Beyonce song again? They're like, wow, 10 million to live how I currently live. Crazy. Like
and I liked this one, but I don't know what my answer would be yet. So, if you had to be trapped in a TV show for a year, what TV show would you choose?
what TV show would I choose? Do I get to like bring stuff back?
No,
After I
you
get
just
out of the
you are
TV show?
trapped
I'm
in
just
that
in
show
the
for a
TV
year,
show.
and then you come out and you're good to go.
I mean, I feel like it'd be pretty fun to live in like Futurama because like no one really ever dies in that permanently except for like 2 or 3 characters. Like the odds of survival pretty high.
That's a good answer. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, I would not want to live in Grey's Anatomy.
Well, no, everyone dies every
Yeah.
episode. What are
You
you
wouldn't
fucking
survive
talking
a year in
about?
there. What are you talking
It's
about?
a
Like,
hospital. Why would you want me to be a year in a hospital?
I'd have to be a patient too, because I don't know shit about being a doctor. Like,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you'd never make it. You know what? They would put you in the TV show and be like, "This is the hot doctor's wife," and they're like, "Okay," and then the hot doctor's gonna die, and they'd be like, "Well, now it's up to you to save all these lives," because that would make sense in the universe, and they would just make you do surgery, probably on your own husband.
there are some episodes like that.
I could write this show. I'm telling you. And go like.
God, I don't know though. Like, what else? What other shows do I like? I don't watch a lot of just TV shows. I think it's a problem.
I don't know, but
I hate. Oh, sorry. There's a sound. I hate that.
yeah,
What
I
is
gotta
it?
fix that. It's the toilet. Why are you making that face at
Why?
me? I don't know. I can go fix it. You
God,
keep
it's
talking.
awful. I hate it.
That's what your computer sounds like to me all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe the new RAM will fix it. Well, I just don't watch a lot of TV shows. Like I've been watching My Lady Jane recently. Which is really funny, really enjoy it. But I don't think I'd want to live there. It's like what other shows? I don't really watch other shows. Like I'd rather be stuck inside a video game. Like like if you had to be stuck inside a video game, what video game would you pick? Because I think that would be easier for me. Because I don't really watch a lot of
For
TV
a
shows.
year?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing for a year in a video game. Because like some video games, I feel like it wouldn't be too hard. You'd be like, I'm gonna go be in Stardew Valley for a year, and you're like, what are you doing? Fishing and farming? Like I don't.
Okay, that sounds really fun.
Like there's some easy video games to pick.
Or I would love to be in Skyrim. I know that's the obvious answer, but
It's obvious for you. It might not be obvious
Like-
for everyone.
like because I could build a little manor, and
Oh no, you get base game Skyrim. You don't get DLC Skyrim.
it's all included in the base game now. It was only
Mhm.
DLC when it first came out.
No, you get original base game Skyrim.
Okay, well then I'll have a house in Riften. I'll take the Honeymead home or whatever it's called.
Yeah, setting up shop with the thieves, huh? This lady's a thief. I see her. She's thieving.
No, I definitely would be like a tavern wench or something. And people are always like, "Oh, I'd be the adventurer. I'd love to save the world." Like, no, I definitely would not. I would be in the tavern serving beverages and singing. I might learn how to play the lyre. Maybe I'll attend the bard college or something.
Yeah, because like even if you're just walking from one city to the next, first they're long walks, but second, you know how many things on the way are just like wow, and then there's giants that live nearby.
Yes. Oh my
And you're
god.
like, time to run.
Could you imagine getting launched in the air by a fucking giant? I'd have to learn some self-defense. Like maybe magic would be good.
Magic would be good.
It'd be pretty cool learning how to shoot flames out of your hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roast some
think of
skeever.
like some other video games would be okay to be trapped in. But a lot of the video games I have are violent.
Red Dead Redemption.
You're gonna die of disease.
I could be a prostitute.
You're gonna die of disease and fucking other diseases. Like what?
What do you think ancient STDs were like?
Painful. They were like, "Wow, this lady is hurting."
It's like I had sex with that prostitute 2 weeks ago, and now my genitals are inflamed. Weird, huh?
Mm-hmm. Everyone was angry back then. That's why.
I wouldn't mind Fallout, but I think I'd want to be in like Fallout 4 because they have a lot more resources. Like Fallout New Vegas, you want to be stuck in the middle of the desert, post-apocalyptic desert? No. Fallout 3 was hard as fuck.
Why would you choose a like post-apocalyptic game to be like, yes, I'll survive here for a year? Like, if you don't get anything out of it other than just the experience of living in the game, then no. I'll choose something nice and easy and be like, this was a nice year off.
Join Animal Crossing for a year.
Oh, the fucking racist society, whatever.
Oh my! How are they racist?
What are you talking about? All them players be racist. They're like, no, you saw those posts of people were like, oh no, I ran the pigeon out of town because I wanted the deer.
I don't think that counts as racism. Maybe speciesism?
No, they're racist. Plus, they're like real like capitalists. They're like, fuck you, you're in debt. And you're like, I just got here. And you're like, yep. And then they walk off.
Okay, but he gives you a loan with no interest for an indefinite amount of time. Like, that's pretty generous.
Mm-hmm. And then every time you're like, I can pay some of the loan. They're like, that's great. Would you like this new thing? We're going to increase your loan. Like, what do you mean?
Now you get a new loan after you pay off the original loan.
Oh, thank goodness. Like, they couldn't just be like, hey, you want stairs that cost this much and then you can save up money. They're like, no, here's some stairs. Now you're in debt. Hopefully you don't buy anything else.
I wonder if they're trying to teach kids about the economy.
I don't know. What do you keep looking at the shelves for?
I'm trying to think about games. I would not want to be an Assassin's Creed.
Why?
Sounds terrible.
Why?
What if I got assassinated?
Just be an assassin. What do you mean?
I don't want to be an assassin.
Well, then you get an assassinated. Look, I don't know how to tell you this.
Killing people in real life, I don't know if I could do that. Like, especially
it's
not for anything.
real life. It's a video game.
Well, like in Skyrim.
And you're in Skyrim. That's also a video
like in
game.
Skyrim, it would be self-defense. Like, I wouldn't go out and seek people to kill. But in Assassin's Creed, as an assassin,
you just said you were going to go to the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild kill
I didn't say I was
people.
going to go to the Thieves Guild. I said I was going to live in Riften.
Which is where the Thieves Guild are.
I don't
You
have
are
to be
guilty by association.
I don't have to be a part of the Thieves Guild.
You know that they're there, and you choose to live nearby anyway. That's you being guilty by association. You thief.
That's terrible. No, how is the whole town then guilty by association?
If they knew about it before they moved there, yes. If they moved there and then they're like, wow, this place is really nice. And then everyone was like, yeah, you should move here. And then they moved there and then they went, what's all these thieves around? They're like, oh, yeah, the Thieves Guild here. You'd be like, ah, shit. Like, then you're just like caught in it. You're like, oh, shit, I'm in debt to the Lord. I got to fucking work off my debt so I can move out of here.
There's the Thieves Guild and the government is corrupt. So the thieves are justified in this case.
How are the thieves justified? You're like, I knowingly want to go live where the government's corrupt and there's thieves. Why, you're making it even better
but
for yourself.
But it has a really pretty home.
Oh, thank goodness. Your blood money will pay it off then, huh?
Or I guess I could live in solitude, but it's more expensive.
It's more expensive. Solitude? It's a lot of stairs. I don't know about that.
I just really like the Falkreath home that you build. Like, I would prefer that one.
What's the one on the far west side?
The Markarth home?
With all the, like, the whole thing's built into, like, a cliffside. And it's, like, a bunch of dwarven stairs and ruins.
Yeah, that should be Markarth.
I don't know about should, but I'm sure.
Yeah, it's Markarth.
Okay. And,
the
that
home
one
is next to the treasury.
That one would be terrible because there's just way too many fucking stairs. Like, to get to the market, you got to go down, like, 8 flights of stairs.
Well, also, though, like, The insulation has to be awful. Like
Why?
it's all stone, so wouldn't it get?
Stone's great at
But wouldn't it get
insulating.
really cold in the winter? Or
That's why you have fireplaces. Yes. You think all of humanity was just like, it's freezing in here. We
but
don't
so would
have any
solitude.
stones.
You know, honestly, what's the White Run would probably be one of the best places to live in terms of like safety, crime.
Whiterun?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's got like
What are you talking about? They get attacked by a dragon. That's not safe.
that's our fault though.
So that's
We
not
brought the
safe.
dragon there,
Still not safe.
but they are safer compared to the rest of the country
How?
because they have the gates, the big gates protecting everything. They have the stalks for the dragon. And then it's just lowering crime like thievery and stuff like that.
You know what town didn't have a lot of it? Was that very first town you go to right after the dragon attack?
River Run, is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that. Like right down the mountain. There's no like dramatic quest there other than like one kid who's like just hanging out. Like there's that one's pretty peaceful.
I wouldn't want to live there though. It's so little.
I mean, comparatively, it's like half the size of Whiterun, but who cares? Like, it's got some gates. It's got the fucking one main road with a bunch of stuff on it. What do you really need? There's an inn right in the middle.
I don't want to live there.
Why not?
It's just not for me.
Yeah, you'd rather live in dangerous places where dragons attack.
Well, at least there's adventure.
Adventure.
And what
with
if you were the Dragonborn? Like,
Then why are you living in a small ass town? Just go kill dragons. Who cares? You ain't going into this world that you choose with like super uber magical powers and you can beat everybody. You're just going in to live there.
well, I think it would be great. And
It's
I
the
could learn how to
same,
make
like,
food.
It's the same like Survivor's Paradox we talked about last week. Everyone thinks they're gonna survive the apocalypse because they have all this knowledge and skills and whatnot. And you're like, you have to be incredibly lucky to first survive the apocalypse, and then if you happen to have the knowledge, then you'll be good.
I think in Skyrim I would be okay just because I've played it so many times that I know like
Yeah.
most of what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but like most people would be like, "Oh, I get to go live in Skyrim. Cool. I've played the story a ton of times." We're like, "Well, yeah, but that was as the main character. Now you're just in the world as you."
Mhm.
And they're like, "Oh shit, I don't know what to do." And you're like, "Yeah, this."
I would definitely try to go to the Bard's College or something. Or I could become a spy. I think I'd be a good spy.
A spy.
Yeah.
Why would you be a good spy? You get nervous about everything.
Because I'm kind of unassuming. Like, nobody would look at me and be like, that's a spy, you know?
Unassuming. You know what you look like when you try and hide things? It's very assuming.
I'm
the fuck you
not
talking
a good
about?
liar. That's true.
Yeah, what the fuck? They're like, "What are you doing here?" And you're like, "Well, I was just stopping by." And they're like, "Are you stealing?" Be like, "No." They'd be like, "Wow, arrest her."
Even
Like,
if I'm not stealing, though, I get nervous. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You could just be in there to like buy bread, and they're like, "Are you stealing?" You'd be like, "No, I'm paying for bread." And they'd be like, "Uh-huh, take her." Like, what?
or go into the shops, be like, "Do you need help running your shop?" I think I'd be a great merchant. Have a look at my potions and ingredients.
Oh boy. I'm glad you're gonna fake a voice in Skyrim, and then when you get off work, people will be like, "It's the shopkeep. Hey, how you doing?" You'd be like, "I'm great," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
It's the same thing as having a customer service voice.
thing.
But maybe somebody would let me work for them in exchange for magic lessons.
That should be in the video game. Like if you run into a shopkeeper NPC like after hours, the voice actor just sounds tired and like fed up with you, and you're like, "Oh, all right, my bad."
Yeah, I
Like,
wish
what
they
do
would
you want?
put as much effort into like the voice acting of RPG games, or RPGs, as much as they do for like story-based driven games. You know,
Absolutely, they will not do that.
it would be great.
Yeah, and way over their budget for that shit.
Honestly, no. I feel like. Do you know how many video game fans I think would jump at the chance to be a voice in a game, and like
Sure, but like
without compensation?
maybe, but the amount of people doing voices is not the issue. It's the amount of people doing voices and the amount of lines that they have. If you have like 1,000 people doing lines, and you got to make sure that all the lines add up, and you have to put time in it to make sure it syncs up with the characters and it makes sense and it functions properly. It's a lot more work than just display some text on a screen. And you click on the text, and then it displays the text again, and then the mouth just sort of moves along. Like it's a lot more work,
When
even
are
if
we
you don't pay the
gonna
voice
make our
actors.
video game?
Who's we? What are you doing about it?
I don't know. I don't know how to code.
That's why you said
That would be your job.
You said you're doing the other part.
Okay. So I said 3 questions. This is the last one.
All right.
If
the answer
you could,
is yes.
It's not a yes or no question.
Well, I disagree.
If you could breathe underwater, where would you go?
What do you mean?
Like, if you could breathe underwater, you could just stay underwater as long as you want.
Those are very different things. Breathing underwater would be like, cool, I can swim in the ocean and whatnot. And like, can you breathe in any water? Are you freshwater and saltwater? Or
Yes.
Are you just one of
any
other?
water, you can explore,
breathe under
breathe. It will not affect you in any way. Where are you going?
That's cool, but you can still only go like so far. It's like breathing underwater and being able to sustain like the pressure.
Can you not like do a little like that's not the spirit of the question.
Why the spirit of the question is nobody thought it through because somebody's gonna get the ability to have gills and they're gonna jump in the ocean and start swimming down and they're gonna die from the pressure and lack of oxygen.
No, like nothing will affect you. Like you can breathe underwater, the pressure doesn't affect you. Like you could just go underwater
Can
as
I
far
see
as
in
you
the
want.
dark too?
Yeah, what Jordan? That's not the point. Where would you want to explore?
Well, you can't go down that far. There's no light, so you have to be able to see in the dark.
Then yes, you can see in the dark.
Well, then I just stay on land and become Batman. I can see at night. What the hell's good in the ocean? What do I need to go down there for?
I would like to find Atlantis.
That's good for you. Have fun down there.
You know, it fell off into the sea. Nobody knows
supposedly
about it.
Nobody knows.
Well, because I
about
can't remember who it was, but like an ancient philosopher, I can't remember if it was like Plato or somebody, wrote about Atlantis.
Oh yeah, several
in the
people
area
did.
it was in. So I feel like
there's a lot of evidence saying that there was a civilization that was wiped out by a great flood, and it was in the area of like Egypt and the Middle East, and now it's gone.
So I would think that would be so cool. Like, can you imagine how much history is just like down there in the ocean?
Okay, so you're gonna get a boat, right? And you're gonna be like, I think it's here. And then you're gonna jump off with a rock in hand and just be like, I'm gonna hold on to this for a while and see where you can get to the bottom.
I guess it depends. I'd have to do some research about the area.
Like, what are you bringing with you? I feel like you should bring like a gun with you or something.
Why a gun?
Do you know what's down in there? Like, people get eaten. It's crazy.
By what?
Who knows? No one's been down there.
A kraken comes out. Like, what?
Nobody's seen a colossal squid. You should find one.
People have seen colossal squids. There's a picture of one.
No, those are giant squids. Different.
But the colossal squids do exist.
Yeah, they found parts of them, but they've never seen one alive.
Oh, yeah. I think it said, like, you know, it's hard to prove the existence of a megalodon. Like, they most likely don't exist. But they can prove the existence of the colossal squid because they found, like, orcas and stuff with, like, tentacle suction cup things around them. Like, marks all over them.
Yeah.
That's creepy as fuck, man. The ocean is scary.
Yeah. You get a colossal squid that comes up and you're like, holy shit, a kraken. Or you get, what is it, beluga whales? Have you seen those? The mermaids?
The really big ones?
No, just mermaids. Like, it's... Hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't picture whatever you're trying to explain right now.
So beluga whales are thought to be the reason that sailors used to think mermaids exist. Because when you look at them from below, if they're going up for air, this is what they look like. Definitely looks like some human bones inside.
Why are their knees like that? I hate that.
It looks like a mermaid, right? You'd be like, all right, you could tell. You like if you fell in the ocean and you saw some, you'd be like, holy shit, mermaids. Like, if you haven't seen it, just Google beluga whale mermaid and look at the images.
Well, we should. I was thinking maybe on Instagram and stuff, we could start posting pictures of some of the stuff we talk about, so people have context. You know.
Yeah, you should definitely.
And I did post a picture on TikTok I did post a video on TikTok last week, so you're welcome.
You're welcome, audience.
I made a TikTok. Social media is so hard for me. Okay, that was my 3 questions. I mean, I have other stuff to talk about, but that was it.
Okay, thank you for killing that. That's
Sorry, you were watching what?
I'm glad we learned to count to 3 together. You're like, I have one more question, and then we read the question. You're like, that was my last question. Thank you.
I
wasn't sure if I counted to 1 properly, but that was good.
You never know.
Anyway, I've been watching like just Hulu videos that I've just had it on mostly while I've been playing video games or whatever. And I don't know why, but I started getting ads for Tinder, and they're the funniest fucking ads that I've
Oh
seen
my
in a
god,
while.
the new ones that they've been putting out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so funny.
Yeah. Oh yes, we watched a couple together. They're.
I saw one on Reddit the other day too, and I was like,
If
hey.
you haven't seen them, like the scripts for them are so great because it's just people standing next to each other and talking how they would type on Tinder, and then a voiceover that just goes, "It's not every day you match, but you can match on Tinder," and you're
Yeah,
like,
it was like
"Okay."
whatever their first messages to each other were. And it's
Yeah.
like, I just think it's cute. Plus, it's so realistic. It's like, instead of setting up these grandiose ideas of like, you'll find the love of your life and it's going to be so romantic on Tinder and stuff, it's like, you down to fuck? Yeah. Been together 10 years. Like, okay.
Yeah, like it's one of the ads is like two people standing in a field in the rain, and one of them goes, "So what's next?" He goes, "Star signs," and then the other person just go like lists off like a bunch of star signs in a row, and then names an emoji, and the first person goes, "That was so hot." Like, okay. Like all that confidence of the keyboard in real life. It's so funny to
Yeah.
watch.
I wish I knew your birth time so I could find your exact star chart.
Wow. Anyway, have you seen the?
Because
Okay,
my birth certificate lists it, but yours doesn't.
I'm glad that you checked. Anyway, don't check again. The have you have you seen the backlash over the Minecraft movie trailers and announcements?
Yes, it is
With
so
Jack
funny
Black,
to
dude,
me.
the Jack Black memes are so great. Where they're just like, "Fuck it, let's make this movie," and it's just Jack Black superimposed into random like memes and animals and shit. And they're like, I saw one post that was like, "We did it with Sonic. We can do it again with Minecraft." Like, bro, he's not like at least try to make him square them around. You're like,
Okay,
okay.
I don't know what people were expecting though. Like it's the live action Minecraft film. Like it's not animated, and I do get to an extent like people want it to be really nice and stuff, but at the same time, like we are no longer the target audience for these films. You know, like they are geared towards children. Like
Yes,
it's
the
not.
children yearn for the mines.
They do. Children yearn for the mines. How many people like everybody loves Minecraft, right? It's like that quote from Rick and Morty where he's like, "Is this game popular with autistic people?" And Morty's like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause I'm starting to fucking love it." Like, like everybody loves Minecraft, you
And they
know?
start out with the description early in that episode. It's like, so you're mining wood to build a chest so you can put your wood inside the chest. He goes, yeah. He goes, okay. You're like, yeah, all right.
Okay. It's like, yeah, that's about the generals.
Yeah.
Um,
I love the memes of it though. They're so good.
the thing I've been seeing the most about games and stuff in the media is Power World is getting sued by Nintendo. But they said they're gonna fight the lawsuit because I guess Pocket Pair can afford it, and it said the lawsuit will probably take about 5 years. But I guess they've made so much money from the success of Power World that it's like they're like, yeah, we'll fight this so that other indie games can, you know, not prevent themselves from doing that. Okay, which is interesting. I don't understand why Nintendo and Pokemon have tried so hard to keep people from like making games that emulate the same thing. Because when you look at games like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, like they all spawned from like the same kind of genre. They're all about the same gameplay mechanics and stuff. It's just a story and art styles and stuff that are different. So why is Nintendo allowed to sue everybody for using things? Like why is like Nintendo allowed to trademark circular balls that you trap animals in? You know, like it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's because they're not. It's not a U.S. based company. So if it's infringement in Japan, it might not be infringement here. So like, it's different laws that apply because they're both Japanese companies.
Is Pocket Pair a Japanese company too?
Yeah, they're based out of Tokyo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're also their statement. I don't know if you read their statement about the lawsuit, but they currently don't know which patents they're being accused of infringing. Like the lawsuit was filed, but they haven't been told which patents they're infringing upon. So they're
Don't
just
they have to tell them that?
they will eventually, but right now their lawyers are just like, I guess we'll look into it again and make sure that we're still not infringing on things, but we don't believe we are. You know,
Yeah,
it's
some
like,
people were saying that like Nintendo has trademarked the round ball shape of the Pokeball that
change it to a cube. Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Some people were like, we're about to
Change it
get
a
PAL
little-
cubes.
Yeah, your PAL diamonds. Like you're
Or,
gonna
oh,
PAL
somebody
pyramids.
on Reddit, I don't have their username available because it was earlier when I was just scrolling, but someone on Reddit on the post was like, we should have PAL guns where you can capture them with like a gun net or something, and then you can also shoot them out with a gun. And I was like, that's actually a really cool, unique idea. It would flow with the game.
I think it should be pyramids.
Why?
Just for the sayings of it. It would look good, right? You'd be like, what's this? That's a mega PAL pyramid.
Sounds cool, yeah.
See? You're like, what the hell? Pyramid. Or prism. Could be prisms. It's close to prison, so it's fun.
How about PAL rhombus?
No, it's got to start with a P. Dirty ass book. of mine.
Shut up.
Like, is it
Okay.
a PAL penis?
And then I have some things about PS5 I want to talk about because one, did you see that they're doing the PS5 Pro for $700 price rate?
I thought it was 8.
Apparently they lowered it.
They lowered it to
backlash.
7. Ooh.
But I just don't, it doesn't seem like a worthy upgrade, but also like I feel
No, and
PS5's been kind of slacking.
some of the backlash, like a lot of it that I saw was like, we don't need like slightly better graphics and slightly faster. We need more games to
Yeah.
play on the already good graphics. Like the software and the hardware in the PS5 is really good. There's just not a ton of games.
Yeah, I think we have what, like
that
3
are
or
on
4
there.
for them?
Yeah, we have some that are PS4 games, a couple PS4, and then like four games that are PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And then some exclusives that I downloaded. But other than like God of War and
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, and what was the other one that we
Horizon.
Those are the only 3 where I'm like, cool, they're like exclusive. We already have them on here. I'll play them on here. But everything else, it's either already on PC or I can get it on Xbox with Games Pass.
Mhm.
I'm like, there's nothing like super exclusive that would be like, oh yeah, the PS5 is my main console. You know? So another $200 for a PS5 Pro that has better graphics or a better processor and slightly better this and that. I'm like, I've never had an issue with the processor or the graphics. It
I
looks
will
and
say,
feels amazing.
I think this is an issue with every generation of PlayStation. Like when the PlayStation 4 first came out, I got it a little while after, and there were like 4 or 5 games in the store. Like that's how I discovered Warframe actually, because it was one of the only games available on PlayStation 4 when it first came out.
Yeah, that's part of the other issue too. Was going from PS3 to PS4, they didn't plan on bringing a lot of the PS3 games over to PS4, and then PS4 to 5, they like learned their lesson. They're like, oh yeah, well you just have to download like a patch to get your PS4 games to work on PS5. But it was up to the developers of those games to make the patches to make it compatible with the 5. So even less games got transferred over, and you're like, between 3 to 5, you lost so many games and so many like bases of players.
And I mean, that's where I think Microsoft is really killing it with Xbox, because there are so many choices of games to play on Xbox. Like, you know, obviously we have the Ultimate Games Pass or whatever, but it's like we can play on our PC, we can play on the actual Xbox. They have like a app thing where you can connect remotely for certain games. And there's just so much content. Like,
and they have a smart system of it too. Is like, yes, there are a lot of free games on Games Pass that have just stayed free, and stayed on there for a while. But some of the ones that are like some of the like mid popularity ones, or like the higher tier ranges of games, if you buy it on Games Pass, like through Games Pass, you get like 20% off automatically. And then if it ever comes off of Games Pass, you just have it at that discounted price already. So like, even if you're like, oh, this game's great, but it's leaving in like a week, because it'll give you that notice like, hey, it's leaving Games Pass next week. You'd be like, oh, well, I can buy it for $20 instead of 40, you know, and you're like, okay, then I'll buy it for $20.
Or like even
like they're making money on it.
Like on Xbox, I ended up getting getting Resident Evil 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5 on Xbox because it stopped working on Steam. And then I went and checked the price for all 3 of them, and it was like $30 cheaper than if you went and got just a game by itself, you know?
Yeah.
But apparently a Silent Hill 2 remake is coming out, and it's going to be a PS5 exclusive, which is where I started thinking about like the exclusivity thing. I was like, So I haven't played any of the Silent Hills, but I would really like to play the remake because the graphics on them are kind of.
I saw a teaser of the graphics in it, and the new one. It looks good. I've never played any of them, so I don't know.
I'll have to try it then. But I want to be streaming a lot more. I'm just waiting for the RAM to come in, so I can actually play games and stream at the same time because it's getting a little hard on my computer. But I really want to do like a Halloween or like.
So did you get 2 more 8s that'll just go on with those?
No, I'm replacing them because it's the RAM itself. It came in a 4-pack, but it's faster than the ones that I have now.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you got 2 more of those or if you just got 4 entirely.
No, 4 different ones. Yeah,
oh, gotcha.
That have better performance. So I'm very excited. And I told Jordan, I was like, "Do you mind if I buy it?" And he was like, "You decide." And
Yep, you're an adult.
Yeah, and so I went.
I don't know.
But there were like 10 left when I was talking to him about it. And as soon as
where did you buy it through?
Amazon.
Yeah, that's not ever like true. They put those things on there to make you buy them.
Really?
Yes, like they're hardly ever true that those are actual countdowns.
It just said it was like a popular item, and then I went back on and it said there was only 8.
It's the fucking rat pack mentality. If you leave a page and come back, it'll say less. Now, sometimes it's true, but very seldom it is. Like a lot of the timers on there too, unless it's like an official like, hey, Prime Day ends in 12 hours and it's noon, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of the deal, like if you go in there like this deal is only available for 15 minutes, and you're like, okay, well it says 15 minutes and it's counting down. If you leave that page and delete your cookies and go back to that page, it'll restart and say deal only available for 15 minutes. Like it just tracks your thing because it's the
propaganda got me.
It's the Rat Pack mentality. It's like, oh, this thing is going away and I want it, so I need to get it right now. That's what they do. That's how they get sales.
I'll have it paid off by like my next paycheck. I just but I also don't pay interest, so it doesn't matter. I'm really excited for the RAM. Okay, so most of what I have to talk about is video games this week.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see Human Fall Flat loved a fan-made VR version of the game so much that they bought it from them?
That's good.
I don't know the developers of Human Fall Flat. Great game if you haven't played it. Me and Jordan used to play it with each other. It's great for long distance or if you just want to play with friends. Like it was really fun getting to play with you. You know?
It's only great for long distance. Now that I can see you, you don't want to be near me.
We should
you
play
suck,
again.
and I might go bam. And just smack him.
No, literally though, like he would get so mad at me in that game because I'm not coordinated, and it's really like you're a jiggly person. So
it's not a hard game.
I highly recommend
plug
it. Plug
the green thing in the green one. And you're like, I can't get it to pick up. I'm like, are you pushing the trigger? And you're like, yeah, it's on the remote, right? And I'm like, I swear to you, use it. What are you doing?
But I think that's really cool, and I do think that's something more developers need to do. Sometimes they'll just like take assets from fans for free, and it's like, no, if you like something your fan has done so much, you should either hire them or you should pay them for that property because, I mean, that's only going to make your reputation better.
Yeah.
And maybe you're inspiring the next generation of game devs.
I forgot what game it was, but some game company posted on Twitter a gif of a cat like typing on a keyboard or like wearing a sun hat or something, and like a bunch of fans responded to it, and one of them in particular was just like, I hope these fun little distractions don't get in the way of this game development. And so the main account replied to him and goes, I can assure you that tweeting a picture of a cat from the social media department has no impact on the development cycle in the developers department.
The social media intern looking at that like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like, do you think it's the same person that's tweeting that's actually programming the game? Like, what are you doing? Like, some people just don't think. They're like, oh, instead of just being like, oh, that's a cute cat, they're just like, well, why are they doing this? They should be posting this already. I'm upset it's not out. And you're like, okay, man, you think the cat gif is what delayed it?
Yeah.
You think there were developers going, you know what we should make today? A cat gif
and
instead of the game.
This should go without saying, but like, don't send developers death threats because the game you want to play isn't ready yet. Like, God, do you remember the controversy around Cyberpunk? Like when they delayed it? Oh my God. People were like...
They delayed it for like 3 years and then it still came out shitty. And I was like,
all right.
It's much better now.
They're making an animated show based on Cyberpunk, apparently.
Yeah, they already made one.
Oh, well, I'm behind on the
It's been on Netflix a while now.
Oh. Yeah. I got rid of Netflix. So.
Yeah, it's been on Netflix a while. But yeah, they supposedly the game is a lot better now. But when it first came out, you could barely play it on like a decent PC. You couldn't really play it at all on Xbox. Like I got it on Xbox. It was bad to play it on there. Like the controls were bad. Everything was just super slow. Like,
you said once the update came out that it got better though, right?
Yeah, the first update, the first like major update was like a month after it
Yeah, I
came out,
remember
and it
you
was
stopped
very
playing it
good.
until it updated, and I was like,
And then
damn, that's
since then,
bad.
they've been getting a lot better. So I'm like, all right,
I really liked
I've
CD
enjoyed
Projekt
back
Red. I
into it.
loved playing The Witcher. I played the first one and the third one, but I don't know. Cyberpunk just doesn't. It seems like the kind of game I would like, but it just doesn't appeal to me for some reason.
You should try it out. There's a lot of fun stuff. There's cool storylines.
Do you have an actual CD of it, or
Yeah, it's that one.
the
It's
yellow
that
one?
yellow one.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it. I have a huge backlog of games.
Oh yeah, we all do.
And then how long would you say GameStop has left in its life cycle?
GameStop. I mean, depends on the people. Just like fuck, I'm
Well,
gonna hold their stock price.
their sales are down 45%, and I think it said they've closed about 50% of their stores.
Oh yeah, they've been closing stores for a while.
So I'm like, I wonder how long it's gonna last. Like, where are we just gonna have to rely on online retailers for games, or
It's because their model wasn't. It just wasn't sustainable, especially with their buybacks. And they're like, "Oh, it's used. Here's like $5," and people are like, "I could just sell it on eBay for way more than that.
Yeah.
Like, you could sell it on eBay for 30 out of $60
like
instead of
people
5
who
out of 60."
I did see
Like,
people who got brand new games and didn't like it, went to go like trade it back in, and they're like, "Oh, here's $10," and it's like this game. I literally bought this for $75 and it's brand new. Like somebody will give you money.
Like I
for
put
this.
it in, played it for an hour, took it back out, and put the disc back in there. And they're like,
Yeah.
"What do you?"
Or I mean, I don't know
Okay.
how it is here, but when we were in Nevada, I remember going to GameStop to trade a bunch of games in because I'd gotten rid of my PS3 or whatever.
Yeah, but the other part too is a lot of people now are keeping games instead of trading them in. Like even if they don't like games, a lot of people are like, "Yeah, we'll collect it and just keep
Yeah.
them." You know, because like the old like Atari games, like the old Nintendo games cartridges, they're worth a lot of money if they're kept in good condition. So people are like, I have this game, I'm not going to play it, but I'll keep it in good
Yeah.
condition, and one day it might be worth something,
But
or
like
just to collect it.
in Nevada, they
So-
couldn't give you like money for your games. They had to give you
Oh yeah,
like
to get like store
credit
credit
because
yeah.
of the gambling laws.
Mhm.
And then I don't know. I wish I'd kept them. I still have my Game Boy copy of Pokemon Emerald, but I don't really have a lot of older games. I do have my PSP. Apparently those bitches cost a lot of money now, but I still like the games. Like I still love the Scooby Doo game I have on there. You're like investigating crimes and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I have my old Game Boy and my old DS somewhere.
Yeah, I have the
I'll have to find
3DS. I have the DS. I have the Anne Bernick game emulator now. Love playing Pokemon on that. And then obviously we have all the consoles and stuff. I know I talked about it last week or so, but I'm really excited for the new My Sims games coming to Switch. It's coming out in November, so I'll probably ask for it for Christmas. But oh my god, I really want to play it.
Why?
Because My Sims Kingdom, it's like little chibi Sims, but it's like castles and stuff. And it's on the Switch, so I could take it with me places. Like, it'd be so fun. Because I'm kind of disappointed with the news from EA recently about how they're not going to have like a traditional Sims 5. They're just going to have concurrent things that run alongside the Sims 4. Which one of them was Project Renee, which is their code name for the online like multiplayer Sims. So that could be fun, so long as it's not required, you know? Like, if it's a choice and I don't have to do it to play the game, that's fine. But
I don't know. It's not surprising. More and more companies are going towards, hey, we're not going to put out new games. We're going to give you microtransactions or DLCs because they're faster to work on, and people will still buy them.
Yeah.
Like Rockstar they're making GTA 6, but they are not in a hurry to put it out. GTA 5 has net them over like $8 billion since it's released. Like it's one of the highest grossing video games of all time.
Someone at EA said part of their logic is that a lot of fans have bought all these like packs and gameplay things, same thing as like GTA, and those fans don't want to start over. And I'm like, I mean, I can still play The Sims 4 and get invested in The Sims 5, but like maybe if you didn't post as many pay to play things. Because The Sims 4 has a ridiculous amount of packs, especially if we compare it to like The Sims 3 and 2, which had maybe like 10 to 15
Sims
packs.
4 was put out in the era of, hey, we can bill you for all these small packs.
I need to look it up and see like how many packs are there.
The price of all the packs is like $1,400 or something, isn't it? Like you get every person buying a pack or two of things. Like it's
Okay, so the game has 16 expansion packs. 12 game packs, and then like 8 to 10 stuff packs and kits, which this was updated in July 25th. So
Yeah.
and then I went online the other day and I was looking at it and I had to tell myself not to buy it. But they
Crazy.
even added more packs, and one was like a fantasy like nursery set, and I was like, you don't need it. You don't even like playing with the kids in The Sims that much.
Yep.
What?
It's a ridiculous thing to me to be like, oh, it's not new stories, it's not new like playability of it. It's just like, would you like to design it with now a new bed?
Yeah.
Here's $20, thank you.
And
like
I don't buy a lot of
alright.
just the furniture packs because, for example, like I have some game packs that are like the expansion packs, and I'll look at the plants in them and it'll be just a reshade of a plant from like the base game.
Yeah.
And so that's why most
what I'm
people just
saying.
use like custom content and mod it because it's really not worth it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I played the base game for like a few hours, and I'm like, I got used to the controls. I got that part. The menus were just not greatly
Yeah.
intuitive to start out with. But then at the same time, the mechanics in the game weren't great. Like a lot of things didn't work together. Some stuff was wrong. I'm like, this is the base game for a game that's been here for like over a decade.
Yep.
And you're like, and it's this shitty. Why would I buy?
They just had the 10-year
More
anniversary
why
of The
would
Sims
I-
4, actually.
Yeah, like why would I buy DLC for this? Their main game is shit. Like,
But I don't know. I'm just feeling kind of disappointed with EA, I guess. And we all know that. Like, it's
I've
EA,
been
but
disappointed for a while with EA.
it just keeps going downhill. It's my Bumblebee stamp.
Thank you. I was looking at how you didn't clean it.
What?
I mean,
I didn't know I had to clean them. I thought they just came out.
we all think we're gonna come out, but turns out. I'm gonna look at making ice cubes.
Okay.
What?
There's a weird transition there.
No, it's not. And here's the reason. You get some of these that are actually clean, and you have a clean ice cube. If you set it on top, it conducts heat pretty well. Like the brass conducts heat, so you can set it on top of an ice cube, and it'll stamp the ice cube with this. But
you want ice cubes that look like bees?
yes, this is the only one you have.
I do have a bunch of other.
No, really? That's good to hear.
Shut up. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Well, this has been Mindless Prattle.
I went to HEB the
Oh
other
my
day.
God.
What's wrong with you?
I thought we were done.
You think wrong all the time. We're in the real world now.
You went to HEB
The
the
world
other
of the
day,
internet.
as one does.
Yeah. And I want to point out a stark difference between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
You were making dinner, and you realized you needed
A carrot.
ingredients. 1 carrot.
One singular carrot.
And instead of driving 2 minutes down the
It's
road
like
and getting
7 minutes.
it is not. And instead of driving 2 minutes down the road to get a carrot and 2 minutes back, you text me and said, "Hey, pick up a carrot on your way home, bitch."
I didn't say it like
And
that.
I went, "You need 1 carrot?" And you went, "Yeah." And I went, "Well, I have to come home and change first before I can go to the store." And you went, "Okay." And I thought that meant you were going to go get a carrot and then come back. So I showed up at the house like 45 minutes later, and I start changing and getting ready to shower, and you go, "So we're going to get the carrot now?" What?
I told
We're
you I didn't want
going
to go.
I told you I've been working all day. What sense does that make? Go to the store, lazy motherfucker. So I was like, I'm not going to the store for just a carrot. So I started looking on ads and stuff to find things I want. I finally did. I just got some energy drinks and whatnot. They were on sale, but
Not for me, though.
yeah, not for you. You got a carrot.
Yeah.
And so we went and came back. Then I showered, and then we had food. I was like, cool, all's fine. Then the next day, I was home before you, and I was making some dinner, and I went, "Oh, I need sour cream." And you know the difference? I didn't wait an hour for you to get home. I just drove down there, grabbed some sour cream, and drove back. And then you know what you had? You had food that was ready for you when you got home. And it was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And you didn't have to go to the store when you got off
No,
work.
I didn't.
It's interesting how that works around here.
I am agoraphobic.
Yeah. You also, I don't know what the word for it is, but you're afraid of like following recipes. You are just the worst at
I
it.
try.
Like step one is like preheat the oven and then put the pork in the oven. And then step two is like while that's in the oven, fry some onions up in a skillet. And you're just like, step one, pork in skillet, onions go in with it. Got it. And you're like, no. What the hell happened? Step two, pour in frozen peas. You're like, oh, I got the can. Fuck it. Like, all right. Well, that's cool.
Hey, we got our vegetables in.
Yeah, I'm sure. We got our vegetable mush in.
Still vegetables, still nutrients.
Yep. Made me feel like I was back in fucking Fort Knox.
Yeah, really?
You're like, what is this? And they're like, green. You're like, what did it used to be? And they're like, peas. I'm like, okay.
Like, this is baby food.
And then you eat green mush mixed with yellow mush, and then you have a piece of bread. And
Baby food.
And then you're like, oh, this was good. And they're like, yes, leave. And then you leave the facility, and you're like, wow, I'm glad that like they're like, what about like the other food groups? And like, oh, don't worry, they gave you watered down Kool-Aid for the sugar, so now you have sugar and grains and vegetables, so you're good for the next few hours.
What do you need? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how that
That's
works.
it. All right. Well,
so I was at HEB the other day, right? During this whole spree of me actually going to the store to get things. And I only had like 3 things, so I went up to the self-checkout, and there's probably like 10 self-checkouts,
Yeah.
5 on the left and 5 on the right, and then like a decent size open section in the middle. And there's usually an attendant there who, walks around and like the lights turn red when somebody needs help. So he'll walk up and like scan his ID and he'll help you with whatever. He's real nice. And I walked up and all 10 of these lanes were full. And as I was standing there, I watched the worker. He got switched out with another worker. Like he had just finished his shift or something. So he came up to one another. They talked for a second or two. The first guy walked off who had been there, and the second guy took over. Well, at the same time, one of the lanes opened. So I went, okay, cool. So I went over the lane and I started scanning my stuff. And as I was scanning, like finishing scanning, and I hit pay and I look over, and almost like like a virus or something hit all the other 9 lanes all turned red at once. And I looked at mine and it just said, your payment complete. And I went, okay. So I took out the payment and I grabbed my stuff and I looked over and I happened to see that guy who had just got there, and he looked up and saw all 9 of them, and he visibly was just like, fuck. Yep. He's like, it's going to be one of those days. And he walked by and like started to the closest person and started scanning it. And like 2 other people from other fucking registers saw him doing that, saw the lights red, walked over and tapped him, was like, I need help too. And he's like, yep, I see the lights.
Like, everybody does, lady.
Yeah, so he's like frantically trying to do this while I'm walking out. And I'm like, oh man, sorry, bye. Like, I don't know what they all did to fuck it up, but I'll see you later. Anyway, the moistness is gone, so we have to adjourn for the evening.
See. Well, I'm Ripley. That's Jordan.
No, you're supposed to say E.
E.
Fuck it. The last one is we should be going now.
Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom.
You were just there.
I've had coffee today.
You should not be drinking coffee.
Why?
You're an adult. All right.
Should I be drinking liquor?
No. That would be dangerous at this early time of the morning.
And not at the later time of night?
No, because then you'd fall asleep and you won't miss the day. You just miss nighttime.
Thank you guys for listening. If you like what you heard, check us out on social media and check out our website at mindlessprattle.com.
Do you have to say the W's anymore? I don't think you even have to type them anymore.
No, you don't.
You should.
You can just do mindlessprattle.com.
Just don't say W's anymore.
www.
No. Now spell out the whole website since you like spelling.
No, thank you.
Go ahead.
mindlessprattle.com.
Dot what? I'm sorry.
Oh my god, .com. I have to go.
Dot what?
.com.
Dot C?
Thank you for listening.
Dot C or
I hope
dot
you have
S?
a great day. Jordan's in charge now.
Is it dot C or dot K? I don't know what.
.com.
Com.
COM.
Oh, CON. Thank you. Now we got the whole thing spelled out.